Um, we are going to record this meeting and publish on the public viewing on LESD website and YouTube channel. Este evento virtual se grabará y se va a publicar para el público en los sitios de el distrito y en el canal de YouTube. If you don't want to be recorded, just turn off your camera, and that's optional. It's on you. So this is our committee. We have Daniela Velasco, she's our president. I'm Brenda Veronica, I'm the co-vice president. Janina Trujillo, she's also a co-vice president. And Ashley Gates, she is our secretary. And please, we want to know you, so share your name and your school and grade of your children, and what do you like to see happen for our English learner this year. So please put it in the chat. We want to hear all of you.
Hello, good morning.
Hi. Oh, please, do you want to share your name and the school and grade of your children?
Do you want to tell us who's in the chat?
Yes, so we have Karen Ashley Rodriguez from Blue Green, TK student. Fatima Casat, Anderson TK. Sarah Huerta, parent from FDR student. Luis Pardo Lusinger. Y María Hernández. Teresa Lozano from Mark Twain. Sheila Flores and from Anderson for 3, Julie Barrera, William B. Anderson. We have a parent who says she can't hear, to log out and log back in to see her work.
Okay, our agenda for today. For new information, we are going to have the registration for CABE and Jornada Pedagógica. We have also community schools, the application, and helping your child prepare for the summative LCAP. And for follow-ups, Spanish as a second language classes, English as a second language classes, and uniform complaint procedures updates. So for all this information, I'm going to present Miss Julie Kay. She's going to conduct the rest of the meeting.
Good morning, everyone. Both you here and you in the screen. I'm going to do my best to talk to everyone as though we're all together in one room. I have many things to share with you today. First and foremost is CABE is coming. Who can tell us what CABE is? Who knows? Well, I know you know, but then I have to bring you over here to talk. So I'm gonna say it. And just in our room, if it's your turn to talk, I'm gonna need you to come speak in front of my computer, because apparently that's the only speaker that's working for our friends out in the world. We have 2 opportunities for workshops for parents this month. One is la Jornada Pedagógica Internacional para la Educación Plurilingüe. Isn't that a nice word now? Plurilingüe en lugar de bilingüe. We are thinking about multiple languages for our students. So LMU puts on this conference every year. It is 100% in Spanish. It is for Spanish speakers. It is a really exciting conference, and this is the first time we've been able to offer it to parents. It's a full day. It's a Saturday. But it is an opportunity to meet with other educators and other parents in Los Angeles to talk about instruction, family engagement, and reading development. If you are interested, I need you to tell me quickly because registration closes on Friday. So please reach out to your friends at school. If you are interested, please reach out to me or to Brenda to let us know, or your community liaison, so we can get you registered. It's a really great opportunity. So I want to make sure that you know about it.
Michelle. Ay. Tiene papel.
Can one of you make sure we mute everyone? Thank you. In addition, CABE is coming, the California Association for Bilingual Education. And as you see from our picture here on the wall, Lawndale is known for bringing lots of people, lots of parents, lots of teachers, our community liaisons, our dual immersion teachers. I would love to bring 5 parents from every school. So I am putting this in front of you today. So if you're interested, you go back to your school site and say, pick me, pick me, I want to go, and we will register you. This year it's in Anaheim, February 21st through 24th. We normally go for 2 of the days, just because it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's a wonderful opportunity to learn about bilingual education, to learn about parent engagement, workshops on how to run your ELAC, how to participate on a school site council, how to help your child with LPAC. It's a wonderful opportunity. And so I'm giving you to the end of this month to register. And I'm wondering if I might have a testimonial. And I'm going to look at my friend Mylette. Could you come and tell people what it's like to go to CABE and what you learned?
Buenos días a todos. Mi experiencia en CABE, he ido varias veces gracias a estar involucrada y estar participando en diferentes comités en el distrito. Mi experiencia ha sido aprender no solamente algo que me sirve para mi estudiante, sino aprender para mí misma también. Hay diferentes talleres. Los talleres son escogidos a su decisión. Las community liaisons, los enlaces comunitarios les pueden dar una guía de cuáles serían para líderes, para ser padres líderes, pero si ustedes tienen algún interés en particular, ustedes pueden escoger los talleres que mejor les llamen la atención. Hay talleres de disciplina, como aplicar disciplina a los estudiantes. Hay talleres de cómo apoyarlos en el lenguaje. Hay talleres de cómo ser líderes, cómo aplicar sus ideas de liderazgo dentro del distrito o dentro de su propia escuela. Los talleres son muy útiles porque ustedes aprenden herramientas para aplicarlas cuando regresan a la escuela. No solo eso, tienen la oportunidad también de compartirlas aquí en esta plataforma a nivel distrito y otras escuelas se pueden beneficiar de lo que ustedes aprendieron. Hay otros talleres, por ejemplo, si ustedes tienen carreras de otros países donde los consulados, hay diferentes consulados, les pueden ayudar a cómo encontrar un lugar donde puedan hacer la revalidación de sus carreras. Esta conferencia les ayuda de muchas maneras. Ese es mi testimonio y sí, es una buena oportunidad si ustedes tienen interés. Tal vez se vea como un compromiso de mucho tiempo, pero los talleres son en diferentes horarios y es cuestión nada más de que se organicen y tal vez puedan ir 2 papás en un solo carro, no hay necesidad de que manejen solos o acomodarse con un grupo de personas y así manejar todos juntos. Pero se los recomiendo, es una muy buena oportunidad y que nos las provee el distrito es todavía aún mejor. Gracias.
Thank you. And the only rule, and I'm sorry, I have to get this off the screen, it's blocking the view. The only rule if you go is whatever you learn, you have to share. So if you go to a workshop about one of the topics that Milet talked about, we need you to come back and share it with other parents at your site, share it with us at DELAC so all of us can learn. So please talk to your community liaison, your ELERT, your principal, and say, I want to go, put your hand up, and so we can get you registered to go. Are there any questions about CABE or La Jornada at this time that I can answer for you? Okay, I'm giving those in the chat a chance.
We do have them.
Okay.
We have Mr. Robinson Dorgo, who says he would like to go to.
Well noted, Robinson. We would love to have you. Thank you. Make sure you talk to the staff at FDR so she puts you on the list, okay? Awesome. Okay, shall we continue? I look forward to going to Anaheim with you all this year. Okay, the other thing I wanted to make sure that we talked about today is our community schools. How many of you received the email with the survey about needs for your school and filled it out? Okay, I'm seeing, okay, you did, wonderful. I wanted to share, I shared this with DPAC. I just want to share a video for those of you who have not been to DPAC to see what the community schools are. So you realize what it is that we're working towards so that we can then think about, are there additional things that you would like to see from our district? So let me share this with you.
What community schools are college ready, career ready?
And we're ready for that community.
We're ready. We're ready.
Estamos listos.
We're ready.
I think education is like the key thing. In my mindset, I can't do nothing without education.
When we came here, I remember they asked us who wanted to go to college and everyone was like, nah. Now it's not even a question. There's no one.
When I look around the school every day, I see success. Kids who were written off. I see kids who were told they could not do what they are showing they can do. And I see a community who are proud of these kids.
College ready,
I'm college ready, career ready.
career ready, community ready.
I'm ready.
We're dealing with the student, the family, and the community, because that's what ensures academic growth.
There's a lot of things that need to be in.
Oops. I'm going to pause for 1 second because I'm hearing that the Zoom world can't see this. I'm trying to make sure I'm sharing my screen and it doesn't. Scott, I don't have any access here to share my screen, is there?
Click where it says talking.
Click where it says talking. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen this whole time. Silly me. Let's try that again. Okay, now.
What community schools are college ready, career ready?
And we're ready for that community.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Estamos listos.
We're ready.
I think education is like the key thing. In my mindset, I can't do nothing without education.
When we came here, I remember they asked us who wanted to go to college and everyone was like, nah. Now it's not even a question. There's no one.
When I look around
Sorry.
the school every day, I see success. Kids who were written off. I see kids who were told they could not do what they are showing they can do. And I I see a community who are proud of these kids.
College ready,
I'm college ready, career ready.
career ready, community ready.
I'm ready.
We're dealing with the student, the family, and the community, because that's what ensures academic growth.
There's a lot of things that need to be in place for a child to sit down and be ready to learn.
I think that's what any parent wants for their kid, is a school that's really there to meet their needs on not just the surface level, but actually going very deep to what the family and the student needs.
Yes, you look at the child as a whole person. The education needs first, their physical well-being, the emotional well-being.
Community schools allow us to meet kids' needs so that they can stay in the classroom. And it allows teachers to further challenge kids because they're being supported. You can be more rigorous with them because they can handle it.
And when I took the school 6 years ago, the API score was in the low 500s, and now we're actually pushing 750. And that would not have been possible without the number of community partners that have made investments.
I mean, we have tons of partners.
Oakland Housing Authority partners with the school
We
district.
have the asthma mobile.
The after-school program, adult education, skill building, how to be prepared for an interview.
Fíjate que ese teléfono cuando le da claridad se pone
Counselors, mental health coordinators, trauma circles, and we have a Read 180 program, so network reading intervention for our students, internships,
College access groups.
the farmers market, tax prep, we do club and drive, free backpacks, mentorship.
A dance club. You come and get everything that you need in order to move forward right here on campus.
We have school community managers at sites now to help us bring in more resources to help families.
We start coordinating services before the school year even begins. We meet together, talk about what services we absolutely need to have. And then we work to make sure that that can happen here. There's a whole lot of work that's gonna go into helping a student be successful, and we all need each other to do that.
So data has clearly indicated that the school sites that actually have high parent participation, the students perform better.
Since the school has placed an actual parent center on campus, parents can come into the center, which is their space, just building community.
You see a lot of parents walking around, taking ownership of their schools, and that means a lot to families, so they can walk around and say, oh yeah, I did that.
If parents have a question about how a class is run, they're more than welcome to come sit in a class. Just like the community partners are more than welcome to come sit in classrooms and see how things are done. A general openness that the whole school has. When you bring in other organizations, you bring in families, it changes the whole feeling of the school.
Comes like a magnet, and others want to be part of it.
This school, yes, is a huge, huge part of my life. And really, it is community for me. My eyes are open more to the community, not so much the community being violent, but there are real people that live in the community. There are real people with so many talents and skills. They just need to come out.
When I think about a student who is dealing with severe trauma just because of deaths in their family, and they're on the verge of dropping out of school, and when we can give them the services they need to keep them away from that, keep them in school and studying, it changes the whole dynamic of their life and of our community.
Our school, even though it's surrounded by all this chaos, it feels so much to be the safest place. We come to school to learn, and this is what we're gonna do.
Rather than have students shutting down and not learning, we have students who know that there are people on this campus who truly care about them and care about whether or not they make it.
In the beginning, I thought it was more high expectations, but we didn't have a lot of the partnerships and support. So now when we have all the different partnerships, it's a way of saying, I expect you to be up here, but I'm also giving you people and resources to be able to reach that level.
My son already asked me, so after 5th grade, I'm going to middle school, to high school, and then college. And I'm like, yeah.
Our average GPAs are higher, even though our instruction is more rigorous. Our kids' reading levels are growing at a higher rate.
I believe that if we invest in our youth, send our youth out to college so they can get degrees and bring those degrees and that knowledge back to the hood, then we can change our community.
I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
It can work. I've seen it work. I know it works.
So for some of you, that might have been your second time seeing that. Make sure I get rid of YouTube.
Save up to 40% and treat yourself to.
Otherwise, we'll hear every video ever on YouTube. That's not good. I shared that presentation with DPAC before winter break. All families had the opportunity to fill out the survey. It was due last Friday. What I'd like to look at today is some of the things that DELAC has asked for previously to make sure that we think specifically about English learners today and things that might not have come up when schools were just thinking about the whole community. So once I can get my screen back, I will share it with you. Okay,
We have a comment in the chat.
please.
Dice, por favor, ponga cámara en las escuelas para poder parar el bullying. This is very important because our schools aides could perform better. Some cases are crucial because they fly and specifically bother others.
Thank you, and that's perfect. We're going to do some sharing in a minute, so thank you for kicking us off. But I wanted to just start off with sharing with you. These are things that the DELAC group came up with last year, saying these are things we'd like to see. We talked about improving the volunteer process, and we have started, and we are moving towards, and we'll be offering soon, training for volunteers to support in the classroom. We've talked about making volunteer shirts so volunteers feel welcome, feel appreciated, staff knows who they are and why they're there. You talked a lot about newcomers and connecting them with resources. We did that at the August 5th resource fair. And there's Jocelyn walking by who helped with that. Yay, Jocelyn! Our resource fair. Thank you. Where we invited all of our newcomer families at the time. And I will tell you that we have received more and more and more newcomer families since August. We need to do it again, right? This is an ongoing thing, both at the school site and district-wide. So how do we make sure we take care of our families that are new, who may be struggling, who don't understand how the school system works, or need help with housing or transportation or interpretation, you name it. We also talked about newcomer student support groups. So they have that both for academics and for social emotional needs. I'm sorry, sharing the screen just makes it really hard, but using music to enhance child's memory. I think somebody came back from CABE with that one. Like they went to a workshop and they learned that music helps with memory. So we were highlighting in our benchmark, which is our reading curriculum, where music is in there to help the children learn the concepts. We also talked about la comunicación, y qué tan importante es para los padres, right? So we've done some parent square training. That's a little bit of it. There's a lot more we could be doing, and I would love to hear from you how we might involve more of our families. We talked about parents sharing their skills and how they can help the community. And we have a rock star right here who's our first person doing that. Brenda Veronica, who is now teaching Spanish as a second language to parents who want to learn Spanish. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Yeah, so she's one of, we had our first classes. Ashley's one of her students. So when Ashley comes in now, she can say maestra when she comes in. Ashley, tell us one thing you learned at your first class.
So last week was kind of a crazy week. I wasn't able to make the Fridays on site, but I went to Monday Zoom.
And can you, I'm sorry, would you mind coming over here because they can't hear you or see you? How do we put you on this?
Pretty loud voice usually. I could have spoken louder. So my life has been a little bit crazy. So last week was a little bit crazy and I wasn't able to fully attend the Monday Zoom or actually attend the in-person, but from what I was on, I learned just the different dialects of Spanish and how we can move forward from like just some of the things that I've always thought were acceptable ways to say things and how just learning them in a better way. But that was only week 1. So I'm looking forward to Friday's class and learning more.
Sorry, I'm gonna put people on the spot today, because it's just hard to hear. And I had the pleasure of joining Brenda on day 1. And I will say the one that struck me the most was when parents were learning to introduce themselves as American. They say, soy americana or soy americano. And our maestra corrected us and said, you are actually from the United States. You are estadounidense, which is a mouthful. But I've been practicing this. So estadounidense, because that's a lot to say. But it clarifies, and Brenda can speak to this better than I can, but in the Spanish speaking world, America is not the United States, right? There's Canada, there's the United States, there's Central America, there's North America, South America. So it's a new perspective. Thank you, Maestra, for that. Our hope is to start offering more things like this through our wellness center. The wellness center's opening has been delayed. It looks like now it will be opening in April, but they're still working on it. So that's coming. And then, right here, Spanish classes for families. Yep, coming January 2024. It's here. It's already open. So those were things you brought up prior to learning about community schools, which have a focus around the whole child, not just academics, but also their feelings, their mental health, family engagement, all of that is part of it. So I would like to take just a few minutes in our group here in the room to talk about it. If there are things that you don't see on this list that you would like to see. And for those of you in the chat, and one of you already started us on it, if you could start adding some comments in the chat, we can gather that information and share it back to the whole community. So my friends in the chat, start typing. My friends in the room, why don't you circle up together and chat for a few minutes and see what else might there be there that we haven't thought about.
Yeah, like a math. Where in I think about younger grades, that way they can have students help each other, but also have like the tutors or extra. Or hours. That's what we're opposed to. I'm very opposed. Pero no será, digo, sí será a veces cuando lo estás, más. Un comentario aquí que dice que me gustaría que otras personas So what I'd like to say is that for the that they would like to know how to work, to ask these things that they go to whatever example my son, and this teacher gets out of my free where they can yeah, so I'm making not necessarily sure to do those. But but I also want to see if how you're coaching or what is you learn.
Is Irish in Spanish animated or is it just English? Is I writing in Spanish and English, so like the parents can learn.
I already has Spanish lessons of the existence, but it does not have. It does have it in the.
We're specifically talking about math. Yeah.
One minute, somebody can share what you discussed.
Yeah.
You can decide. Literature and second.
And then that's math. I don't, my kids never, I don't know what it is. I know, so we use like, we use a
just, you know, I have, he's not even a fan, I read, but I have. Because I don't want to, we're gonna call me this.
Okay, I'm gonna call us back together. We've had two very busy groups in the room. And I thank you for your comments here in chat. I'm going to invite one person from each group to come share for our whole group out in the Zoom world. So which group would like to go first?
Yeah.
Go, Ashley, come on down.
I'm try to chart things that you said because I forgot to do this.
I wrote ours down for
Oh,
Patrick.
beautiful. And I'll steal your notes.
There you go.
So our group talked a lot about math and how we do have the math TOSAs and the alerts, but having some more tutoring would be helpful. And we discussed like having maybe a math club for extra help. And some of the students who have like gone through the math club in later years, or students who are just interested in math, could maybe come and help like the younger grades. So some of the 5th graders can come and help some of the 2nd graders, or but there would also be a teacher on in that room or whatever that they're doing that math club in. We also discussed the underutilization of our partnership that we can have with El Camino College. There are lots of students that are there that are, their major is math, their major is teaching. We could reach out to those students and to see if they would be interested in doing some volunteering, and especially for the students who are going for teaching, having that be something that goes towards their credentialed hours or however that could work. So those were the things we talked about. Like I said, we stayed mainly on math, but we also discussed some of the apps that the kids have access to, iReady and ST Math, and how like some of the teachers assign 10 minutes, or my child's not assigned any minutes to those programs, but I have him do it to just help him get further advanced in those. And so maybe some sort of class for the parents to get them more familiar with what apps are available, what apps help, and what apps are in Spanish and what apps are in English, and how that can help the parents also.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, group 2. Now note in the. I'm not doing it, I'm gonna say it.
Bueno, no voy a decir esto en español. Estábamos hablando nosotras sobre lo que es las community schools. En mi escuela, de hecho, ya tuvimos una junta con la directora, ya nos explicó y todo. Y yo les comentaba que, por ejemplo, en la escuela donde está mi niño, que es Billy Mitchell, nosotros tenemos el programa de Pathways, que es para niños de educación especial. Entonces, en los niños con educación especial es precisamente una parte de la comunidad que a veces necesita un poco más de ayuda, porque yo les comentaba a la directora que tenemos niños en Pathways que ya tienen 7, 8 años, hasta 9 años y todavía usan pañales. Entonces, por ejemplo, el acceso a este tipo de cosas, gastar en pañales, es un gasto muy fuerte para las familias, porque entre el niño está más grande, los pañales son mucho más caros. Y son gastos que las familias que tienen niños especiales tienen y otras familias no las tienen. Entonces, una community school se trata de ayudar en otros aspectos, además también de lo académico, ¿verdad? Entonces, ayudar a los papás con este tipo de gastos, tal vez acceso a otro tipo de terapias, acceso a grupos que pueden ayudar a niños con educación especial. Esto también sería fabuloso para tener en nuestra community school. Acceso a pañales, acceso a todo ese tipo de cosas, pues. Entonces, nosotros pensábamos que el apoyo a este tipo de comunidades también es muy importante. Y pues es prácticamente lo que alcanzamos a discutir antes de, de que se nos terminara el tiempo. No tuvimos más ideas.
Creo que escribí todo, pero si hay alguna que no está aquí, por favor, ayúdame, maestra. Thank you.
Thank you, both of our groups, for sharing. And I see I think Ashley, you must have been nodding your head out in the virtual world because group one, what Ashley was talking about, having workshops for parents to help them understand all these apps on the student computers was exactly what you had written in the chat. I also see additional on-site support for homework after school, information on the reclassification path. We can definitely do that. We update that every year, and your alert at your site can definitely help you with that. And we offer workshops every year on that. We have some experts in the room here who could also help you with that. Yeah, I see a homework club. Y hay algún método para que los estudiantes memoricen lo que están leyendo. I'm not entirely sure, Amada, lo que está pidiendo. If they're memorizing facts about what they're learning, say in history or science, that would be something that you could talk with your teacher about. I need more information. ¿En qué hay ejemplo que puede compartir cómo o en qué sujeto está hablando de memorizar lo que están leyendo los niños? ¿Puede hablar o escribir más en el chat?
I think with the community schools,
Ujú.
we do offer so many of these programs with RAP, right? But like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to take that spot from RAP, from a parent who works full-time and needs that spot.
Mhm.
So I think that even though we are doing a good job with some of those programs with RAP, what I see a lot of families needing is outside of RAP. That RAP is offering.
Mm.
Like RAP offers dance and skateboard and math help and homework help. But for those parents who don't want to, who stay home and don't want to take that spot from somebody who rightfully needs it,
Mhm.
those options still need to be open. So that's where I think the community schools can help.
Thank you. That's exactly why we're applying for community schools. Because if you look at what we have in Lawndale, there's 4 pillars they're asking for in community schools. One is parent and family engagement. We have Family U. We do a lot of workshops on those things, but there are still gaps that we're not meeting. We have expanded learning time, RAP, which meets some families' needs, but not all families' needs. We have the integrated student supports, which are social emotional wellness, right? We have social workers, we have community liaisons, we have counselors at our schools. We still don't have enough to meet the needs of our children. And then the 4th pillar is leadership and partnering so that you as parents feel like at the school site, parents and the principal and the teachers and the staff, you're all part of the same team working together. So we have more work to do there. That's why we're applying for this grant. So thank you. That was a beautiful ending to that. Ashley, you tied it up nicely. Thank you for sharing that. I took notes on what you added. I'm adding it to the notes we took from DPAC, which I'll be sharing back at the DPAC meeting at January 31st. So we have this all tied up. But I do want to keep us moving because I realize we talk and we talk and we talk and we run out of time. So I want to make sure that I can share a little bit more with you. Just want to remind you, LPAC is coming. The window opens on February 1st. And there is a website with parent and guardian resources. They are in, whoops, I went too far. In English and Spanish. There are videos you can watch. There are practice tests you can do. Oh, and you can't see the link here because of my screen. I'll share this with you with your community liaison so that you can see it. But it's basically lpac.org. I think if you can see my slide. And you can go to parent resources and look. It's a good idea to practice with your children. Our teachers are practicing the LPAC task types with children. Things like looking at a picture. Tell me what you see in the picture. Or looking at a cartoon that has 4 things that happen. Tell me the story that you see in the pictures. These are great things you can do with your students to prepare. You'll be getting letters from your schools telling you when testing is starting at your site. Again, your alerts are there to help you if you'd like more information on preparing. And the biggest thing you can do is help your students understand how important it is to try their best. Right? We want to see growth over time. And they are all in English language development classes, and we are hoping to see nice growth this year. Does anyone have any questions on the LPAC testing? That ties into the reclassification question because our goal is to score what on LPAC? You need a 4 to reclassify. Okay, so when you look at your child's scores from the past, if they're a 2 right now, our hope is this year, maybe they'll score a 3 and then next year score a 4 and be ready to reclassify. So we like to see movement every year. But again, talk to your child's teacher, talk to your alert. If you have questions, if you're worried about your child's progress, that's the person to go to. Yes.
So once they're reclassified, they won't be tested anymore.
Correct. Once you reclassify, no more LPAC testing. However, we still monitor for 4 more years to make sure your children are doing okay. For example, you can reclassify and still not be doing well in math. Math is not a criterion for reclassifying in English. So we watch to make sure that our reclassified students are still progressing and doing well, because there are reclassified students who still need intervention, who might need that math club, right? So we watch to make sure and monitor every trimester. But no more LPAC. You're right about that. As I said before, here's some pictures from our inaugural week of Spanish as a second language classes with our teacher, Miss Brenda. The classes were fabulous. We've learned a lot. We open up again. Well, actually Friday. Friday is your second class for Friday. We didn't have class this Monday because of the holiday. But if you know some folks who would like to register, there is still room, right? Brenda's classes are not full. We're trying to keep them to 15 students. There's room. So thank you, Brenda, for all your work on that. And we have English classes for parents. I wanted to remind you, we've been holding classes at FDR and at Green. El Camino Community College, this is one area where we do partner with El Camino. They take January off, so we're not having classes in January, but they start again in February. And our class at FDR has 14 spaces. Our class at Green has 10 spaces. And we have information about classes that are available in the evenings on Zoom. They will not be sponsored by Lawndale, but you can go and register and you tell the folks at the Warrior Welcome Center, I'm from Lawndale. I'm here for the ESL class, and Rosa will help you with, because first you have to apply as a student. Those of you who've been through it, you just need to apply so you get that student ID. And then when you're nodding your head, you've done it. Okay. So once you have your student ID, then you apply for the ESL class and Rosa can help you. And I put in here, this is the website for El Camino. You can change the language of their website. So you choose Spanish, everything's in Spanish for you. These are the hours. So they're basically Monday through Friday, 8 till 1. You can go in person or you go online and you apply. Our community liaisons are very good at this. They will help you. Saraí Cuevas, who's our alert community liaison at Green, has been our point person on this, and she can help. But we love to fill both of those classes. And we heard at our resource fair in August that many parents were looking for an afternoon or an evening class. We were not able to offer it on site, but they do have it through El Camino via Zoom. They have them on campus as well, but I think that for some was challenging, but Zoom might be a better offering. But we're here to help you. We want you to be able to get registered so you can do it. So I saw you nodded your head, so you've applied. So are you in the ESL class? Yeah, at FDR or at Green? So, ¿su clase está en Green o FDR?
Yo estoy en FDR.
Oh, okay. You're covering all the bases. Good, good. That's wonderful. ¿Y ahora qué ¿Qué han aprendido?
Es, como por ejemplo ahorita.
Oh, con permiso, ¿puede hablar aquí? Así que todos pueden oírse. Por favor. Usa su voz, usa su voz.
Buenos días a todos. Las clases de inglés son muy buenas. Los invitamos pues a que asistan. Nuestras clases son 2 días por semana, ya sean en William Green o en FDR. Y pues son todos bienvenidos. Los maestros son unos excelentes maestros y pues los compañeros también.
¿Y qué quiere decir en inglés? ¿Puede decir una cosa, una frase? Todavía está aprendiendo. Okay. She's shy, but if she's at FDR, you're in year 2, right? Okay, so we have big hopes for you that you're going to come into this meeting one day and blow us away in your English. Just like I want to see Sunny come in Spanish one day, right? Okay, because, and Ashley's going to come in and say, yo soy Ashley y quiero compartir una cosa con el grupo. And we're going to all be like, wow, what just happened? But that's the beauty of this, right? That we're all working together so we can work more closely together. We can understand each other. So thank you for taking a chance and being brave and coming in. I appreciate that. So I wanted you to know about both opportunities. We are building our language opportunities. Maybe with community schools, we can add another language. We'll see. But for now, we're working our way through Spanish and English. So thank you. One other thing I put on the agenda, and if those of you who are in the room, I gave you a copy. You received the uniform complaint procedures in the LESD handbook at the beginning of the year. And you received an email, I think right before winter break, saying, hey, we've made some updates. So you received that. We also just wanted to make sure that our group here gets a written copy. And these are pages I took right out of the parent-student handbook, but I chose it from the handbook because the handbook is translated. So we have it in English and in Spanish. And these are, and I presented this to you at the earlier in the year. Essentially, these are rights that you have as parents, that our children have as students. And if you see at one of your school sites that something here is not happening, you have the right to complain. This holds us accountable for making sure that all of our students have a clean and safe campus, have textbooks for their classes. We have, English learner services for our English learners, that we have, school site councils, that we have safety, we have all the different types of it, adult education, all of those things. So I bring it to your attention just to make sure that you're aware that it has been updated and it's in the parent-student handbook. And if you have questions, Dr. Lisa Cooper is our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and she is our UCP officer if you need to talk to her about a complaint. And here's just a visual of what it looks like in the parent-family handbook. And look at that. 9:58, we are on time. Our next meetings, DPAC will be in 2 weeks on the 31st. Then you'll notice there's no meeting in February. Do you know why there's no meeting in February? Because we're going to CABE, right? So that's enough of a commitment for February. But when we come back in March, guess what I want to hear about? What did you learn at CABE, right? What are we learning? What are we sharing? How can we improve our district, our services for our families? APAC will also come back in March. And that's our meeting for today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your participation. Please let your principal, your ELERT, your community liaison know if you are interested in participating in CABE, especially if you're interested in La Jornada, because that has a shorter deadline. And I look forward to seeing you in February at CABE. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.